If you are new to crypto in 2026, the hardest part is not buying your first coin. The hardest part is building a portfolio that does not fall apart the moment the market gets scary. A lot of beginners come in thinking they need the next 100 times gem. They open an app, see thousands of coins, and start chasing hype. Then one big drop hits, panic kicks in, and the whole plan is gone. So in this video, I want to show you a simple beginner strategy to build a crypto portfolio the smart way. Not the flashy way, not the gambling way. The simple way that helps you survive, stay calm, and still have upside. Let's start with one important fact. Crypto is no longer a tiny niche on the internet. As of April 2026, the total crypto market is worth about $2.51 trillion, and daily trading volume is around $73.5 billion. At the same time, Bitcoin alone holds about 57.1% of the whole market, while Ethereum holds around 10.6%. And one more crazy number, major data platforms are tracking more than 17,000 cryptocurrencies now. That sounds exciting, but it also shows the real problem. Beginners have too many choices, and too many choices usually lead to bad decisions. Here is the first mindset shift you need. A crypto portfolio is not supposed to be a collection of random coins. It is supposed to be a system. The goal is not to own everything. The goal is to own the right things in the right size. Think of your portfolio like building a house. If the foundation is weak, the whole thing can collapse. In crypto, your foundation should be the assets with the strongest history, the deepest liquidity, the biggest adoption, and the clearest long-term role. That is why most beginners should start with Bitcoin and Ethereum before they even think about smaller coins. And that idea is not just opinion. It is supported by where the money is going. In January 2024, the SEC approved spot Bitcoin exchange-traded products in the United States. Since then, institutional attention has grown fast. By April 10, 2026, BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust alone had net assets of about $57.7 billion. That tells you something important. Big money is not starting with random meme coins. Big money is starting with Bitcoin. So if professionals with massive research teams begin there, a beginner should probably not skip the basics and run straight into the wildest corner of the market. So what should a beginner portfolio actually look like? A very simple 2026 strategy could be this: around 60% in Bitcoin, 25% in Ethereum, 10% in high-quality large-cap altcoins, and 5% in cash or stablecoins waiting for opportunities. That is not the only good allocation, but it is a clean starting point. Bitcoin is your anchor. Ethereum gives you exposure to the biggest smart contract ecosystem. The smaller altcoin portion gives you some growth potential without turning your whole portfolio into a casino. And the cash or stablecoin position gives you flexibility when prices fall and good assets go on sale. Now let me explain why this works. Number one, Bitcoin is your core safety engine inside crypto. I am not saying Bitcoin is safe like cash because it is still volatile, but inside the crypto world, it is usually the strongest and most established asset. It has the biggest brand, the largest share of the market, and a fixed supply of 21 million coins. Number two, Ethereum gives you a different kind of exposure. It is not just digital money. It is also infrastructure for apps, tokens, payments, and blockchain activity. Number three, the small altcoin bucket gives you upside, but only in a controlled amount. That way, even if one or two picks fail, they do not destroy your entire portfolio. The next rule is even more important than the allocation itself. Do not invest all your money in one day. Use dollar cost averaging. That means you buy a fixed amount on a schedule, like every week or every month, no matter what the market is doing. This matters because crypto is emotional. When prices go up, people feel greedy. When prices crash, people freeze. Dollar cost averaging removes some of that emotion. Let's say you invest $400 per month. You could put $240 into Bitcoin, $100 into Ethereum, $40 into large cap altcoins, and keep $20 in reserve. Over time, this builds discipline, and discipline beats excitement. Another thing beginners need to understand is position size. Even a good coin can become a bad portfolio if the position is too big. If you put 50% of your money into one small altcoin, you are not investing. You are making one huge bet. And in crypto, big bets can go very wrong, very fast. A smarter approach is to keep your altcoin exposure small and focused. Maybe you choose one or two large cap projects with real use, strong liquidity, and a long operating history. That is enough. You do not need 12 altcoins to look diversified. Many beginners think more coins means less risk, but in crypto, more coins often just means more confusion. You also need to rebalance. This is where many people mess up. Imagine Bitcoin runs hard and grows from 60% of your portfolio to 72%. Or maybe one altcoin suddenly jumps and becomes much larger than it should be. Rebalancing means bringing your portfolio back to your target levels, maybe once every 3 months, or maybe when one asset moves too far from your plan. This forces you to do something most people hate but need to do. Trim what became too large and add to what became too small. In simple words, it teaches you to sell some hype and buy some value. Now let's talk about risk, because this part matters more than picking the perfect coin. Never build a crypto portfolio with money you need for rent, food, debt payments, or emergencies. Crypto can move fast in both directions. A portfolio that looks smart on Monday can be down hard by Friday. You should also use secure storage, strong passwords, two-factor authentication, and a trusted exchange. Do not leave your future hanging on weak security. And please do not use heavy leverage if you are a beginner. Leverage can make small mistakes feel like disasters. In this market, staying alive is a winning strategy. There's also a simple filter I want you to use before buying any coin. Ask 3 questions. First, what is this coin actually for? Second, why should it still matter 3 years from now? Third, if this drops 50%, would I still understand why I own it? If you cannot answer those questions, you probably should not buy it. A strong portfolio is built from conviction, not from social media noise. Remember, there are more than 17,000 crypto assets being tracked today. Most of them will not become long-term winners. That is why beginners should focus on clarity, not quantity. One more big point for 2026 is adoption. Crypto is not just surviving anymore, it is becoming more normal. According to Gemini's 2025 Global State of Crypto report, nearly 1 in 4 people globally now own crypto. That does not mean every coin will win. It means the space itself is maturing. More people are entering, more institutions are watching, more products are being built around the biggest assets. And when a market matures, beginners usually do better by owning the leaders first and the speculation second. That is why your portfolio should have a clear core, not just a pile of trending names. If you are wondering what a full beginner setup looks like in real life, here is a simple example. Let's say your starting budget is $5,000. You could place $3,000 into Bitcoin, $1,250 into Ethereum, $500 into 1 or 2 large-cap altcoins, and keep $250 in stablecoins or cash. Then, instead of trying to time every move, you add money every month. If the market drops, you keep buying slowly. If the market pumps, you do not chase too hard. You follow the plan. This is how normal people build strong portfolios. Not with perfect predictions, but with consistent behavior. And please remember this. The best beginner portfolio is not the one with the highest possible return on paper. It is the one you can stick with during fear, boredom, and hype. A portfolio only works if your mind can handle it. If you buy too many risky coins, you will check prices all day. If you invest too much money, every red candle will feel personal. But if your portfolio is simple, balanced, and built with purpose, you will think more clearly and make fewer emotional mistakes. That is where long-term success usually begins. So if you want the simple version, here it is. Keep Bitcoin as your core. Use Ethereum as your second pillar. Limit your altcoin exposure. Keep some dry powder. Buy on a schedule. Rebalance from time to time. Protect your account. And never confuse hype with strategy. In a market this big, this fast, and this emotional, simple usually wins. If this video helped you, make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell so you do not miss the next one. And if you want to build smarter in crypto, watch my next video on the biggest beginner mistakes that destroy portfolios. And if you want to stay safe in this market, do not miss the video on risk management and when to rebalance your crypto portfolio.